Reserve time.
Hello guys and girls, and welcome to the MASCA CyberWars Dota 2 tournament with your caster, Only Logic, that's me, yay! And I am here with two teams, BoysBoys and SEAR, that have proven their worth in a couple of thrilling games already. This is for the lower bracket final. This is the final of the lower bracket. Winner of this goes through to the grand finals. The loser of this has to say, well, we tried, we did very well, got so far, but alas, didn't quite make it, and then have to fight off for third place versus Not Legit. So SEAR have absolutely stunned us. First game was not necessarily a complete stomp, but it definitely went in the way of BoysBoys. They were able to pick pushing heroes. They were able to push very aggressively and make a huge difference on the presence of the board. And that aggressive push meant the win to BoysBoys. I mean, there's no doubt about it. In the second game, the aggression went the other way, and SEAR stunned everybody, well, definitely stunned me, by getting a number of good early game kills, and then just snowballing from there, and showing the aggression back towards BoysBoys. They took the game, and they turned it right around. BoysBoys had their pushing hero lineup, but SEAR had a little bit of a trick hero. They had a Slark. And Slark was able to roam around and get a lot of kills and stack up those kills and even get a godlike streak, actually, beyond a godlike streak. Which led to a lot of gold when he was eventually killed, but he was able to really influence the state of play. Awesome, let's take a look at these picks and bans coming out from the side of BoysBoys and SEAR. SEAR banning out the Lycan and the Bat Rider, two heroes that BoysBoys have been known to play, even though they dealt with the Lycan very well last game. They have decided to ban him out. They don't want to play against him today. And BoysBoys have banned out the Doom and the Tinker. Lycanthrope playing such a strong game last game, it's not playing such a strong game, should I say, but I can definitely understand the ban because of his huge increased mobility. On the picks end of the thing, BoysBoys picking Tidehunter and Nature's Prophet. Tidehunter, definitely one of the biggest teamfight heroes, and Nature's Prophet is a very typical pick for BoysBoys because of his strong pushing power, because of the fact that the offlane is reasonably uncontested and reasonably easy in some instances, not to mention they normally throw him in the safe lane and run an aggressive offlane, which is a very strong strategy by BoysBoys. SEAR, on the other hand, picking two typical late game heroes, Faceless Void and Razor. But once again, they're going to need heroes that put the pressure on in the early game to be able to get these heroes to farm in the late game. Last game, it was a Slark. Slark was working alongside a
Reserve time.
oh goodness, Slark alongside a, I've forgotten his name, Witch Doctor, of course, Witch Doctor, and that was able to make a huge, that was, the combo there is that Slark can hold him in position, and that's a lot more damage that can be done with the Death Ward. Next two bans coming out by SEAR is the Enigma and the Invoker, two heroes that BoysBoys are known to play. So basically they're just banning out BoysBoys' signature heroes. It looks like they're not banning out a specific strategy, even though Enigma, very strong pusher. I don't think he's really necessarily picked for the pushing power. BoysBoys picking up the Witch Doctor, something that I'm pretty sure SEAR wanted to pick up, but have been denied the pick. Next two bans out by BoysBoys, Skywrath Mage and Ancient Apparition. Now, I haven't actually seen an Ancient Apparition in this tournament yet. Don't get me wrong, he's a great hero. He's mainly used for the Chilling's Touch, but does have that global presence as well. But I just haven't seen him being played in this tournament. So I think it's a little bit of an odd pickup, but I can understand because of the teamfight potential that Ancient Apparition has with his ultimate. Wraith King picked up once again by SEAR. Wraith King is a very common pickup by the Southeast Asian rejects, and most of the time he's played to reasonably good extent. This time it's definitely a support Wraith King, because I can't imagine them having a Faceless carry, a Razor carry, and a Wraith King carry. Razor's almost certainly going to go into the mid. We could see a Faceless Void in the mid. I'll tell you what, that'll be interesting, as doubt it's going to happen. It's probably going to be a safe lane, tri-lane farm with Faceless Void. Razor's going to be thrown in the mid, and Wraith King's going to be one of the support for Faceless Void. Let me just point out that both Faceless Void and Wraith King are melee heroes,
Reserve time.
which means that they're just absolutely going to need a non-melee support. And I'm thinking they could run something like Avenge for the pickoff. I'd love to see Avenge Wraith King roaming. I'd love to see an IO Wraith King roaming. I think that would be absolutely amazing. I'd love to see Avenge. I love Avenge IO roaming. Like, honestly, I think it's absolutely amazing, Avenge IO. And it's just not run often enough, which is a bit of a shame. But either way, where was I? Yeah, then they're going to need a support to really combo with that Wraith King. Or at least a support to combo with Faceless Void. Death Prophet comes out on the side of BoysBoys. Death Prophet's going to do an alright job of countering that Razor. I think the matchup is definitely in favour of Razor. Not that Death Prophet has strong right click for Razor to steal, but just the fact that Razor's got the slight extra bonus damage over the Death Prophet in terms of last hitting. So if the Razor's good enough, he can definitely last hit. He won't be able to out-harass the Death Prophet, but most importantly, he's got a huge impact on the team fight alongside Faceless Void. I also don't understand the Faceless Void Wraith King combo. Once again, there aren't many combos here to work with, so they are going to need heroes that really combo in well. And I'm not sure what that could be. Once again, I'd love to see Avenge. I think Avenge would be great for positioning, especially with the Faceless Void. I'd love to see a Crystal Maiden, maybe. Crystal Maiden could work quite well. Crystal Maiden Faceless Void combo, but it looks like they've picked Jakiro. Jakiro is going to combo with the Faceless Void. Not to mention he's got the huge long-range stun to follow up with the Wraith King. So this is the typical hero. This is a very, very good hero to see on the side of SEAR. Not to mention he's got anti-push potential. He's got counter-push potential, and he's got push potential himself. He's not able to melt towers, but he is able to slow down the damage that towers can do when the creeps aren't nearby. Thanks to his now an orb attack, his liquid fire actually does an attack slow that does affect towers. This means that the attack slow is applied, which means that you can tank a tower a little bit better, which means that you can help in terms of the pushing with the three right-click heroes that we have here: Razor, Faceless Void, and Wraith King. Ban out by BoysBoys as a Shadow Shaman makes perfect sense to see this as a ban out by BoysBoys, although I don't think that they SEAR necessarily want to pick a Shadow Shaman. I think they want to pick another thing that combos well with a Wraith King. It looks like they've got enough stuns, to be perfectly honest. I think they need a little bit more utility, not to mention that they might want to decide on an off lane. They could run Wraith King off lane, don't get me wrong, but I think that they do want to decide on a strong off lane. Frankly, I'd love to see something like a Bristleback. I think a Bristleback pick would be quite strong, would be very strong, to be perfectly honest, especially with this team. Bristleback could take the damage from Death Prophet. He's a little bit immune to the Tidehunter. He can afford to take the Tidehunter damage. Nature's Prophet right-click doesn't do much if Nature's Prophet can't keep him facing. Witch Doctor, stun, not reliable. Mirana coming out by BoysBoys. Oh, now this is a dangerous, dangerous off-lane. It could be a tri-lane. It could be a carry Mirana. I'd love to see a carry Mirana. I say I love Mirana in the offlane. I think Mirana's such a strong offlane. I don't like her as support as much. I think she can support reasonably well, but I don't like her as support. But it's almost certainly Tidehunter in the offlane. Having said that, it could be a tri-lane Tidehunter, Witch Doctor, Mirana, Death Prophet in the mid, Nature's Prophet in the offlane. Could be an offensive tri-lane Mirana, Witch Doctor, Tidehunter as well. SEAR banning out the Venomancer and BoysBoys picking out that Mirana reasonably quickly.
Reserve time.
So now SEAR are deciding on their final hero. Thanks to everyone that's joined me on Twitch. I've had some really good popularity on Twitch. I'd like to give a big shout out to the 15 collective viewers, whatever, the people that have liked my Facebook, followed me on Twitch, and subbed to me on YouTube in the past week. It's been really, really good, mainly thanks to Nosgoth stuff. If you haven't heard of Nosgoth, look it up. I will be giving away some beta keys for Nosgoth in my stream, so definitely pay attention to that. If you want to keep up with all of my stuff, it's facebook.com/onlylogicgaming. Or you can search for Only Logic on YouTube or Facebook or wherever. But either way, it should be in the description below the Twitch and the description below the YouTube if you are watching this on YouTube. To all of my Twitch viewers, if you do want to watch through the last matches or re-watch the matches, there's the Bristleback coming out for SEAR. All of the VODs will be up on YouTube, youtube.com/goingonlylogical. Once I get 50 subs on YouTube, I will be doing a giveaway. So I'd love for you guys to keep up to date with that by liking my Facebook. So the Bristleback play was definitely a call there. Bristleback reasonably strong to Mirana, but something that Mirana can do is catch the Bristleback off guard when he's facing forward. And Mirana really is the only reliable stun that BoysBoys have. Tidehunter is a very, very long ultimate. Nature's Prophet is not a typically reliable stun. It's not actually a stun at all, to be perfectly honest. Witch Doctor has the cask, which might stun for a split second one hero. It could be amazing, but then again, it could not be amazing. It's not reliable. Mirana's stun isn't even reliable because of the travel time, which means that they've got nothing to really combo with this Mirana. But you never know. With the right-click potential that Mirana has, she can still do a lot of damage in the later game. Was that Treants? That was Car. Yeah, the Treants have already moved. Oh, yes, my bad. Okay, I see. Yes, I do say. Okay, let's introduce the teams here in the side of the Radiant. On the Southeast Asian Rejects, Bulbasaur is chilling here as a Jakiro. We've got Dartil on the Wraith King. We've got Hungry playing that offlane Bristleback. Hungry, an amazing offlane player, so I'd love to see him play this Bristleback. I wonder how brilliantly he's going to do. We've got Mylite just hanging around in the mid as that Razor, and we've got Shupa playing the carry Faceless Void in the bottom lane, and we've seen Shupa's ability to play a carry. Hopefully it won't be denied to him this game. On the side of BoysBoys, you've got Elks playing the Mirana, just watching this rune spot,
30 seconds
closely watching it, as well as Video James on the Witch Doctor. Hanging around in the mid waiting for the creeps is Rylan on a gorgeous Death Prophet there, on a really interesting Death Prophet. Okay, Rylan, oh, wrong button. Rylan on the Death Prophet there. In the top lane we've got JJH on the Tidehunter. Yeah, definitely a safe lane tri-lane. And we've got X4 playing the off-lane Nature's Prophet and calling his Treants again. So the ward has decided to be a bottom. It is going to be an illusion ward, so ultimately no big deal there. Mylite doing a very good job of blocking. He's let one of the creeps through. Maybe a little bit of a shame. It might end up hurting him. Rylan's block definitely turning out to be much better, and Rylan gets the very, very safe block at the end there. So Dartil and Bulbasaur want to do what they did last game. They've come in. The stun's going to come out. The follow-up stun's going to come in. Mylite's going to come in. He's going to come in with the huge damage. And that's almost certainly going to be the first blood. First blood taken by the Jakiro. He's going to be able to get his boots nice and early and continue going for ganks there. And Mylite is just going to have to use a salve, actually. He's going to be handed a salve. And Death Prophet already level 2 by just making the TB back into lane. And getting the deny, so very good play by Rylan. He might even be able to turn this around. In the bottom lane, Shupa has been uncontested by X4. Hungry, however, has been hugely contested by Video James, who's just making sure to keep him well out of experience range. So a sentry ward coming down here. They want to go in for this Furion, but the Treants are going to move in here to just take a look at what's going on here. That sentry is just out of range of this ward here that does see all of this vision as well as this vision here. So a really well placed ward. And even though it doesn't see out here, it does get a very good placement of all of this laning area. So he's able to tell if the camp has been pulled and subsequently block it here. As you can see, the Treant's pulling the creeps, but Dartil's going to go in and he's going to try and right-click these trees, which he's not going to be able to do. No, he's going to try and block the creep wave, maybe, which he's also not able to do. Either way, Shupa's going to have to be very, very careful here about what he does. And I think that he should just send these illusions in just to deny that that clarity. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Hungary is trying to put a little bit of pressure on Video James. The camp has been pulled, so very good work by BoysBoys here. Let's take a quick look at the last hits here. First is Shupa, and it looks like it is going to be a carry Tidehunter, which I'm not sure I agree with. But BoysBoys have done some odd strategies that have turned out to come out very, very well. In the mid lane is being easily won by Rylan, well over MyLight. So well played by Rylan there, the invisibility rune being poked down there. He's probably calling for another gank mid. Let's see, 60 damage, 63 damage as opposed to the 62 there with even items. No, Razor does actually have the Wraith band. And Death Prophet with nothing. I take that back. I thought Razor's damage was slightly higher. Bristleback going down in the off lane. Thanks to the Tidehunter. The carry getting all of the gold there. And the tower is already being pushed. So where's Bristleback? Why doesn't he have a TP? He just bought something. That was a bit of a shame. He's going to have to walk back into lane, and he's going to miss out on basically two waves of XP there. And Wraith King here with the invis. He wants to get the invis. As soon as she goes down on the low ground, that's going to be it. There's going to be the stun. Dartil's going to come in. Huge stun by the Jakiro as well. And he's going to be able to turn around and absolutely right-click this. And this 2 kills going down. Death Prophet going down in the mid. She's been targeted hugely. Good play coming up by SEAR, putting that pressure on that roaming duo. Very strong roaming duo. I loved that Jakiro pick the moment it was made. And meanwhile, Shupa in the bottom lane, uncontested farming. He's able to get the last hit on the siege creep as well. Siege creep, of course. Of course, what else could it be called? Siege creep as well, and Hungary having to play very, very carefully thanks to the bonus gold that Tidehunter may or may not have as a carry. In the top lane, Shupa's able to push this tower a little bit, but bottom tower has been pushed a little bit more. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, a lot of damage coming out by Rylan, and he's able to get a lot of farm. Has he actually been able to turn this around? No, he hasn't. Rylan still doing amazingly on the farm. So congratulations to Rylan, putting a lot of pressure, actually beating Shupa in terms of last hits, even though he's got an ultimately uncontested lane here. Something that they're not doing is they're not shutting down this Fury, and they're putting pressure on him, but they're not shutting him down, and I'd love to see a gank happen on the Fury in here. Honestly, I would. A lot of damage going out onto Rylan. Rylan with 0 bottle charges. Ping's coming out. Oh, the arrow comes in. The ultimate's going to come in by Rylan, and the TP is going to come in by X4. Completely unnecessary TP. And while they're here, they're going to push this tower, and I'd love to see TPs coming onto this tower. They won't be able to push this tower down in the first run. But still a lot of damage coming out. No TPs coming in again. It looks like they're just going to push down the bottom lane. They're just going to do a tower for tower switch, which honestly, for SEAR, might actually be a good run. Seeing as SEAR don't have quite the pushing ability that BoysBoys have. Fortification coming out, but not coming out on the side of the Radiance. No, and now the fortification comes out. So well timed fortification there. MyLight's going to come in, but no, Mirana's going to get the last hit, and they're going to go in onto X4 going down, playing a little bit too aggressively. Hungary's not in a good position either, and now they're going to go for this tower here. They've got to be really careful about who's rotating though. They want to take down this tower. Shupa's tanking this tower. He really shouldn't be. Does he have any points in backtrack? Yes, he does, but he's gone for his time lock. And he's gaining some health here from the Wraith King here, who's just given him a salve as well. Now, MyLight having to play reasonably cautiously. What just went ding? Death Prophet activated a dead double damage rune, so now MyLight has gone for him. He's got to play it really carefully. MyLight not level 6 already. A lot of ganks coming in on the side of MyLight here. So 3 for 3, 3 for 3, 2 towers pushed down, both teams looking very, very even. Let's take a look at the graphs here. So BoysBoys, just because of their more effective farming, you see that they've opened up on the XP, but because of the pushing by SEAR, they've also got very close on the gold graph. And you can see JJH trying to put a lot of pressure on this bottom tower here as well, something that BoysBoys are very good at doing. Hungry is just trying to harass as much as he can. I thought that was a smoke for a moment, the way that I saw them moving, but Bulbasaur just putting out the wards here and not being able to see any of the wards, seeing as the BoysBoys wards is up the top of the hill here. And they've got another ward here. So warding coming out brilliantly by both teams. Hungry moving out of the way of that arrow. So the arrow not doing much. And X4, of course, cancelling his TP. So as not to get into the wrong position there. Shupa putting a lot of pressure on this tower. Meanwhile, in the top tower, a lot of pressure also being put in. Bulbasaur might look to get a stun off. He does try to, but he's not able to. It could have turned into something big. The question is, are they going to chase this? It looks like Bulbasaur may want to chase this. He's just waiting for a good opportunity, and it looks like SEAR want to turn this around. They're saying, come on, boys, you want to put pressure. You've got no idea what pressure is. But no, they're not going to do that. How awfully boring. Invisibility ward going to Death Prophet this time, but she's able to bottle it, which means that she's going to have enough mana to, once she pops the bottle, be able to cast her ultimate as well as a Crypt Swarm in no time at all. So she's going to move over to the top lane and not be spotted by the ward here, thanks to the invisibility. Is that the sentry? Yes, so not be spotted by the ward there, thanks to the invisibility. Either way, Hungry's going to play it reasonably safe. And seeing as all of BoysBoys are here, we're going to see who's got TPs. Jakiro does not have a TP. Dartil does not have a TP. He's gone on to X4. We're waiting for the stun. Brilliantly timed stun. Going on to X4 here. They want to kill X4. They go into X4. JJH comes in with the ultimate. He's going to go for that Shupa. Backtrack. No backtrack coming out. Dartil coming out, but being in the wrong position. A buyback by X4. He's able to get it. Dartil does not have his ultimate. Oh, and a nice save! Nice save coming out there by Jakiro, and Dartil's going to have to move back to the tower. He doesn't have any mana to cast his Hellfire Blast. JJH will catch up to him and get the kill. That's 3 kills and a tower going in favour of BoysBoys. And this is the start of the snowball. This is the start of the snowball. X4 coming very, very close to dying as well, just as Mylite switched it around. Sentry ward's coming out, which means that the tower, tower, my goodness, the ward is going to be able to go down quite quickly. Guys, if you are interested in the Canberra scene, I do recommend checking out Canberra Dota 2 tournaments, or just Canberra Dota 2 at Blogspot. And you'll be able to catch up with all of the Canberra Dota 2 action on there, with the tournament, with the Barracks LAN tournament that's going to be coming up soon. And my hint is that there will be a lot more tournaments that we will be seeing in the Canberra scene for Dota 2, and I'm going to be hoping to run some tournaments of my own. If anybody that follows League of Legends, there are going to be some tournaments for League of Legends as well.
Dire's top tower is
That was an
under
interesting
attack.
thing. A lot of pressure going on Dire's top tower. Elks is going to take advantage of this and start the farming. Whole bunch of SEAR bandits in the mid.
Tower is under attack.
XP and gold graph going both hugely in favour of BoysBoys. It doesn't mean it's over yet though. A good team fight by SEAR will definitely turn it around, and Shupa already does have his Chronosphere, so he wants to go in. He's going to Chronosphere Video James. He's going to right click him a couple of times, and of course that's going to be it. JJH without his ultimate is not able to do much. He's able to slow Shupa down, but Shupa's just going to use his Mask of Madness and he's just going to run out of there. Hungry's going to get very, very close to that. A couple more right clicks. Blink in by JJH. They'll be able to get him. Shupa's just going to get right out of there. And Mylite trying to steal damage. He needs to turn around and try and fight this, and he's not able to. He goes right down. So 2 more kills going the way of BoysBoys in an exchange for 1. That's very, very good for BoysBoys because it means that they'll be able to push this lane as well.
Radiant Radiant's middle tower is under
No more
attack.
spirits, unfortunately, which means that this tower is going to go a little bit slower. But either way, not much contention from SEAR. Shupa's just going to continue farming in the bottom lane, trying to get the items that he needs to make him super good, which I'm guessing will be a Mjolnir,
Radiant's top tower
maybe a
is under attack.
Mjolnir, maybe just an AC. He doesn't have his Chronosphere, nor does he have the mana. He has to be a little bit careful here, purely because of this. Video James has come in with the invisibility on the backside. Shupa's going to be like, hey, I'm going to get out of here. So he's going to go behind the trees, and he's just going to TP back to base, grab up all of his mana, and then head out again. And we can see Video James looking around for him, but he's not going to be able to find him. So very good pushing coming out the way of BoysBoys, taking 2 in the middle, 1 in the top, and the bottom is still absolutely full, but it looks like BoysBoys definitely want to rectify that, and I think SEAR should not let them have it. I think SEAR should be TPing into the bottom lane. This is still a level 5 Jakiro, which is a little bit embarrassing. Let's take a quick look at the net worth graphs here, and we can see that the top 2 are definitely 2 BoysBoys. I think that SEAR should be moving in to protect this tower, so that BoysBoys don't have another easy tower, because that's how they snowball. They snowball with gold. They snowball by getting those towers and using their items. There is a glyph available for those towers, but it looks like they're going to do a trade. They're going to do the bottom tower for the mid tower, which is fair enough. However, this tower might actually fall sooner. It does fall, and then the TPs are going to come in. And all of the TPs are going to come in. JJH is going to get 4 with his ultimate. He turns around, Dartil goes down next to immediately, but that might just be enough so that everybody else is able to back away from there. Rylan comes in. He's very, very close to dead. He gets JJH. Hungry is just going to have to back off. Hungry going up and trying to lead them away from the team. Stun coming in to take out Rylan, but SEAR can't do anything else about it. Hungry, without a Blink Dagger, just has to run. JJH is going to get the kill and deny it from X4. And that's quite embarrassing for SEAR that had such a prominent second game. They've made it 5-10 now. BoysBoys being the 5 ahead. So BoysBoys being the 10 kills to the 5 kills from SEAR. Which is rather interesting. So the team that wins this game will go forward into the grand finals and fight it off against Rad. The team that loses will fight for 3rd place against Not Legit. Oh, Video Game's actually taking a lot of damage there, not even realizing that that MyLight is there, and MyLight's able to kill the ward up there as well. Ooh. And once again, BoysBoys are going to go straight into the Rosh Pit. This time, do they know? Do SEAR know? I don't think it matters. They're going to go straight for the tower. Nope, Roshan's just going to come out of his pit. And they're going to try and defend this tower. Oh, huge silence. Is going to hit 4 people. First to go down. Shupa's going to try and run away. But he's going to have a lot of damage onto him. No, they're going to definitely try and run away. Bulbasaur not having his ult yet. Can't make anything happen with his Macropire. And Shupa's just had to use his ult to escape. And he does TP in. TP out, which means that it's only 1 death, but they're not able to take care of the tower as well. So BoysBoys teamfight potential definitely coming out in this game, where SEAR have gone less of a ganking and more of a teamfight lineup. And now they're able to push this top tower as well, and you're going to see this top tower melt even just with Nature's Prophet here. Nature's Prophet has gone a Hand of Midas. Not sure why. Maybe because of the way that the game was made up. Blinks in, coming in by JJH. The arrow is going to finish it up, which means that this tower is almost certainly going to go down. We can see SEAR just acknowledge that and try and push out the middle and bottom lanes to try and make it easier for them, because they will not be able to defend this middle tower. BoysBoys, however, they don't care if other lanes are pushed out, because they want to finish this game reasonably early, and you can see the spirits coming out. Spirit's coming out to try and deal with this tower, dealing relatively little damage, just killing the creeps for the time being. The blink in by JJH. JJH has gone in. Mylite is able to right-click him down, though. Jakiro taking all of the golds that he needs. Does he have Macropire yet? He does have level 6. He's got the Macropire. Will he be able to use it? He's waiting for his Ice Path to come back on cooldown. Shupa needs to wait for a good time. He does not have his Chronosphere. Now the star. No, the Ice Path misses completely. They're able to turn this around. No, Rylan gets the mega kill. Shupa trying to come back onto X4 here. Not able to. And he is the last one alive by SEAR. Last one alive by SEAR, and SEAR will be able to push this top tower here. All of the buybacks are coming out, and that'll mean that BoysBoys will just have to back off. Elks is looking at this Faceless Void. No, I was wondering if maybe he wanted to try and get a lucky arrow and then try and put some pressure on the Faceless Void, but it looks like he's not going to be able to. Rylan getting lucky on the rune again, or no, I take that back. Good warding means that he does get the haste rune, which he's able to cast and get 200 mana back. So put his mana back up to half after a couple of back up past half, I should say, after a couple of bottle charges. But he gets extra lucky on the rune again. Oh, and Jakiro goes down thanks to the Mirana just being out of position. And this is the annoying thing for the support players. The net worth now 3 top towards BoysBoys. Let's take a look at the graphs. 7,500 in XP going to BoysBoys, and in gold, about, what's that, 9,000 difference in gold going to BoysBoys. So once again, not over. We have seen SEAR turn a game around, but I think that against a team like BoysBoys, it's just going to be that bit too difficult to turn it around. So now BoysBoys once again want to go for this Roshan. They're pinging out the TPs, and you see X4 here.
Pull roots and run.
Comes in with the TPs, gets his treants,
Radiant structures are
so he's able to go for this Roshan. Unfortunately, without the armor reduction that Furion got in the first game, this Roshan is going to go down a little bit slower, but SEAR, once again, with not very good map vision, with purely defensive map vision along here, is not able to tell what's happening in the Roshan pit, and thus not able to respond to it.
Roshan has fallen to the dire.
Catch.
So SEAR not able to push convincingly as strongly this game as he was able to do last game. Oh, Rylan is here, and he wants to make something happen, so a blink in by JJH means that it is going to be a kill, an instant kill there. Just from the slight amount of communication by BoysBoys to get a really easy kill. Especially with the invisibility ward by the Death Prophet. And now they'll be able to push out this bottom lane and probably even get a tower kill. Meanwhile, Furion split pushing. He'll be able to join the team fight using his TPs while he's still putting a lot of pressure onto this lane. So they've really shut down this Faceless Void, as well as the Razor that isn't playing as well as he was last game. This game has almost certainly gone to BoysBoys. I would love to see SEAR turn this around now, but BoysBoys being triple the kills, 10,000 in XP, 10,000 in gold, it is quite unlikely. Although having said that, I do wish I could take a look at the sprees so that I could find out exactly what the sprees are. Because I'm fairly sure that a lot of these heroes are in a reasonably high killing spree, which means that a lot of gold can switch to the hands of SEAR very, very quickly. No glyph available for SEAR, so they're going to take down this tower, and then they're going to go down towards the tier 3 tower. Oh goodness, excuse me. And Hungry's going to try and distract them, and Hungry's going to take a lot of damage, and now the Ice Path coming up, but not picking out JJH, and a huge Chronosphere is going to grab 4, but he's going to be stunned up, and he's right in the middle of it. And Video James is going to turn it around as well. The Macropie is going to come out, and then another stun in to try and help him. But SEAR, everyone in SEAR is low. Who's got the mech? Nobody has a mech. Does nobody have a mech? No, my goodness. And this is going to be a huge... This is going to be a very damaging for SEAR having no mech. And on the side of BoysBoys, it's already been cast. Not to mention, they've got the Voodoo Restoration by Video James here. That's already used his ult, so basically doesn't have to worry about his mana. My Light is going to go down from a few right clicks by JJH. X4 is going to try. No, Shupa's going to go in. He's going to be able to get X4, and then he's going to be able to run. No, he's not going to be able to run off. He's going to die. An immediate buyback again by Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet wants to come back in. Is the slow going to reach? It's going to reach Hungry. It's going to reach Bulbasaur. That means that both Hungry and Bulbasaur are going to go down. That's another 2 heroes. BoysBoys going 4-0, making it 7-22, and keeping their 3-1 kills, 3-1 kills ratio in the different teams. Now BoysBoys will be able to take down this barracks and then move towards the middle tower.
Radiant's bottom barracks have fallen.
So BoysBoys maintaining their position as arguably the best team in Canberra after an interesting second game.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Middle barracks going down now. My Light is trying to pull at least the creeps away. Jakiro missing the stuns, unfortunately. It looks like that pressure really does get to them, and Shupa comes in, and he's able, but the Force Staff... No, Mirana's able to get Shupa, and a lot of damage coming out onto Ryland now, but the ultimate, again, by Video James, is doing just so much damage. It's bouncing around. Nature Prophet does go down. Video James goes down as well. Bristleback has gone down, but once again the kills, the bonus goal is coming in. My Light, will he be able to get JJH? One more right click. Yes, it's going to do it. JJH is going to go down, but he does have the Aegis. The question is, will they want to follow him up? Brilliant blink out by JJH. Very nicely timed. Ice Path by Bulbasaur, but not enough. Good blink out by JJH. So that makes it 2 for 2. But if you look at the gold here, Razor getting Witch Doctor and Bristleback, Mirana on the Bristleback, 317 Faceless Void. But 951 going the way of Razor after killing that Death Prophet. So that could bring it around. Maybe it could make a little bit of a difference. A quick look at the gold graph here. Gold graph 20,000, still 20,000 to BoysBoys. Experience plateauing at 15,000. So it's not over. I've said that before. I'll say it again. It's not over. But it's going to be very, very hard for SEAR to bring this game back.
Pull roots and run.
Oh, brilliant coming in. A lot of bashing coming into X4. And a 4 stuff going up, but that doesn't make a difference. Now they're going for JJH. Once again, Video James using that ultimate, and he's able to get 3 kills. He gets a double kill. Tidehunter getting the 3rd kill on the Faceless Void. My goodness. And Hungry here trying to back it off, but Video James putting a little bit of pressure. That's going to bounce 3 times. And now they're going to try and take this barracks. But Hungry is going to be able to get a few last hits here. Is Video James going to continue pushing? No, it looks like none of the BoysBoys crew exactly want to keep pushing. They're just farming the enemy jungle and trying to keep up that pressure, trying to keep those graphs down basically. And you can see 15,000 in gold, 15,000 experience, almost 25,000 in gold now. And I don't think we'll be able to see a turnaround from BoysBoys unless SEAR are able to stall for 20 minutes at least. JH being harassed by My Light, who can't go out too far forward. He needs to stick around with his team, and he needs to know his limits. And everyone on SEAR needs to know their limits. Now, they're going to need to rely on a good chrono, followed by a good Macropire if they're able to make these team fights change around in their favour. We've seen it happen before. Don't get me wrong, we've seen it happen before, but that's a refresher on Tidehunter. That's a 4 staff and a refresher on Tidehunter. And that means double Ravage. Is it double Ravage? 375, 6. No, it's not double Ravage. It's very, very close to double Ravage though. My Light taking a lot of damage, once again being out of position. He is able to pop the mech though. He's trying to run away. He's got the boost in speed. Dartel's going to come in and he's going to do nothing, and My Light is going to... Oh, Video James gets it and followed up by the arrow!
Your hopes fade tonight.
Cask followed up by the arrow means that there's a lot of damage coming out. And Razor goes down, but meanwhile Nature's Prophet also goes down. I'm not sure to who. A huge Chronosphere is going to come in. He's going to try and go for Video James, but he just doesn't have the damage there. The stun's coming out now. JJH is going to be stunned up. The 4-staff isn't going to save him. That's 2 kills. That's 3 including the Nature's Prophet. Will they be able to go for the Elks? Dartel wants to go for the Elks, but Dartel does cast the ult. And Dynamo backs off as well. Do they have dust? They don't have dust, but they do have a sentry. So now they've cast it in. They've gone for this Ryland. Elks must know that there's a sentry there, but there's too much damage
I have seen the future.
going out there.
You're not in it.
And that is 4 kills going for SEAR. Let's take a quick look at the goal graph. Ooh, it's coming back up. Experience is coming back up as well. Huge plays. Are we going to see a turnaround like Game 2? Guys, I really recommend that you check out the game between the Southeast Asian Rejects and Not Legit. It was the first game of the lower bracket. It is on my YouTube, youtube.com/goingonlylogical. And the reason I say check it out is because it did feature an amazing comeback by SEAR. Something that might be happening now, probably isn't, but you never know. SEAR do have the ability to play really, really well. We have seen it in the past. We've seen it in Game 2. We could have an upset here, and it's really unknown what could happen.
Haste!
The problem now, though, is the farming potential by BoysBoys is much higher because of the fact that these mega creeps. You'll see here when he hits it, he gets 18 gold from that. Video James, getting the ult onto Bulbasaur, who was just trying to ward and de-ward, so he was in a bad position. But there is a haste rune on Video James, which means that he'll be able to find My Light, who wants to turn this around. He wants to immediately start fighting. He should continue right-clicking. Shupa's going to come in. The ultimate's going to come out by JJH, as well as by Ryland. That's a Refresher Orb ultimate, taking 2 heroes down. That means that 3 is down for SEAR. Is this the GG push by BoysBoys? There's a buyback by Razor next to immediately. Unfortunately, Faceless Void isn't able to buy back. He does not have enough gold. My Light has to be really careful how far he goes up. They want to take down this barracks. Ryland stunned down. They're going to go immediately for Ryland. They're going to try and take him down, but Dartel, look at the damage coming in from the spirits. The slow has come in. Hungry is in a bad position. He turns around. S4 is going to get a double stun. My Light with a little bit of bonus damage. 56 bonus damage. He's just going to try and turn and right click, and they do get the Furion, but Elk is godlike, and what's going to happen is Razor's going to fall as well. So that Mirana being godlike, this must be GG. I don't think SEAR want to call it. I think SEAR want to say, we do have a chance. We do have a chance. We want to prove that we've got a chance. But this tower is going to go down. And that is mega creeps as well for BoysBoys. No GG called yet. Radiant structures have been fortified. Shupa has not used his ultimate yet. He still does have a Chronosphere, so maybe he's just waiting for a good time to use Chronosphere. They have gone in. They've picked out Shupa, though, who doesn't have a TP. Dartil goes down, and that has to be GG. GG called by Shupa. Such a close game. Game 2 going to BoysBoys. Game 2 going to SEAR, sorry. Game 3 going to BoysBoys. Good luck being called there by Shupa. Very good sportsmanship by a seriously amazing team. We saw Shupa make, we saw SEAR make some amazing plays in the last game, in this game as well. They almost turned it around. There was a glimmer of hope there for a split second, but Mirana going 10-0 just shows how strong BoysBoys were, especially with that odd pick Mirana. Bristleback being an odd pick as well, but pretty much an expected one if you're just looking at the off lane. Oh, thank you so much to my viewers. A big shout out to my viewers. Absolutely love you guys. If you want to keep up with all of the stuff that I do, I'm doing a lot of Nosgoth play recently. It's twitch.tv/onlylogic if you're watching on YouTube, or youtube.com/goingonlylogical if you're watching on Twitch or in-game, of course. But the best place to catch me is on my Facebook. That's at facebook.com/onlylogicgaming. Really easy to remember, guys. Only Logic Gaming on Facebook, or just search for Only Logic on Facebook. You can Google Only Logic. Hey, you can Google me. Big thanks to all of my fans. Big thanks to everyone at MASCA, to BoysBoys, to SEAR for having me cast this game. Join me for the finals. I'm not sure when the finals are going to be, but hit that follow button and we'll be able to keep up with you guys for some amazing Australian Canberran Dota 2 action. I'll see you guys soon.